You can't open the post. Every time you see the postman coming down the path, you get a feeling of dread. Okay, look, I'm doing this video today because I have been there. In fact, it was only 2 days ago that I finally managed to open my post. And I know how truly awful that feels, and I know the shame that is attached around not being able to manage. So I just want to talk to you, and if I can give you any advice that might just help you a little bit, because actually I don't want anyone to go through what I've been going through, because it's really horrible, okay? So the likelihood that you can't open your post is due to financial reasons. That might not be in all cases, but I think in the majority of cases that is likely what it will be. You may be thinking in your head, I only manage with what I've got, and I can't pay anything else. I can barely get by day. How am I going to cope with another bill? So rather than open that post, you leave it on the stairs or in the hallway, you walk past it as you go out the front door, you look down, and your stomach rolls over. You don't even know what's inside it, but your mind is imagining all sorts of terrible things. And slowly, day by day, the post increases, and then maybe you put it in a bag and you tuck it away somewhere so it's out of your sight. But the thing is, it might be out of your sight, but it's not out of your mind. Now listen, I know that feeling. I'm a single mum, and I have finished caring for my mum full time. She's now in a nursing home, and I'm sort of transitioning I'm in the in-between. And I don't have a lot of financial, I don't have much money, okay? And it's a struggle, and I get it, okay? I get it. But the problem is that the longer we stick our head in the sand, and the longer we tuck that post away out of sight, the bigger the burden we're actually carrying. And if you're in the same position that I've been in, I know you will have that feeling. It's just gnawing away at you every single day. And then you get to a point where you've stuck your head in the sand for so long, you can't even think about addressing the situation. Well, I want to let you know that there is help out there. You can access help, and you can access really kind and supportive people, okay? And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Going through financial difficulty, we can feel really ashamed, can't we? Why am I in this situation? How did I get myself here? But honestly, it is nothing to be ashamed of. You're doing the best that you can. So what did I do, and how did I resolve my situation? Well, making these videos has really helped me. And I made a video about putting your head in the sand and not facing your fears. And I made a declaration on that video that I was going to face my fears. I called citizens' advice and I was almost shaking. I was so nervous because I've got all this emotion inside of me and I'd felt so alone in dealing with this. And the man on the phone couldn't have been kinder. And they told me to get a bag and to put my post in a bag, and they made me an appointment. And I went to that appointment 2 days ago. They're volunteers, they're incredible people, and they are there to help. And they're not there to judge you. They're there to help you. And the lady, she told me she'd seen this so many times and that I wasn't the only one. And just having somebody sit next to me, and I opened my post and with my eyes shut, I passed her the letters. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But I was that scared. And she went through them and we put them into piles. Now, most of it was nothing I needed to worry about. But there were a couple of things that had cropped up. And because I'd ignored them, they were on the verge of becoming a big problem. But I'm hoping I've resolved it, or I'm in the process of. And actually, I want to let you know that now I'm at that point where I'm tackling the problem. Oh my gosh, the relief is massive. All that stress and anguish of really the unknown, not knowing what was inside those envelopes, that's all gone now. And I'm like, okay, well, I've been left with a problem, but I'm getting help and support to deal with that problem. And that has made such a difference. The next day I was again on the phone to Citizens Advice, and the woman who deals with like debts and things like that, she said something to me and I just want to pass it on because it helped. She said 2 things. She said, if you lent £50 to your friend and then your friend just disappeared, you called them a week later, you sent them a message, hi, and they didn't answer. And the same thing happened week after week. You would start talking to other people and saying, hey, what's happened to them? I haven't heard from them. They're just not replying to me. Yeah? But if your friend had come to you and said, look, I'm really sorry, I don't have £50 yet to give you back. Could I maybe pay you £5 a month, or could you wait? Your friend you would say, of course, that's not a problem. Yeah? It's when we don't communicate, that's when the problems begin. Yeah? So even if you do owe money and you're thinking, I can't pay this money back, just remember that reach out to Citizens Advice, let them help you, because by communicating to the people that you owe money to, they can come up with an arrangement for you that will be manageable. Yeah? It will be manageable. And then you won't have this awful burden on your back. Another thing that she said was that she had a lady come in, and she came in with these 5 letters and she was trembling. She just couldn't cope with opening them. And they opened them. And the first one was just a flyer. The second one was a flyer. The third one was a flyer. They were all flyers. In our minds, we can imagine all sorts of scary, terrible scenarios. We can catastrophize. And actually, things usually are not as bad as they seem. So listen, do something for me, please. Give Citizens Advice a ring. I know it might feel scary, but they're really, really kind. They're confidential and they're non-judgmental, and they will have seen your situation so many times before, and they're skilled and equipped to deal with these problems, yeah? Sometimes we just need to reach out. Sometimes we just need a little bit of extra support. And you know what? Reaching out is brave. Yeah, you can do it. And just remember that the fears that we have are so much more than what the reality is, yeah? So what I found really helpful was I just sat and I breathed, yeah? And I thought, okay, so this is my fear. My fear is that just there's a whole mess in my post and I don't know, terrible things are going to happen. So I removed that fear and I put it there, okay? And I breathed, yeah? Okay? I am having a thought that because I haven't opened my post, all these terrible things are going to happen. Yeah? It's just a thought that you're having. It's not the truth. Even if problems do surface, you know what? You will, with support, be able to manage them. And I promise you, the relief you feel will be immense. It will be immeasurable, okay? And you will come out a lot stronger afterwards. You know, I think about when I'm going through difficult times in my life and difficult things or challenges I'm faced with. And at the time, it just feels like a nightmare, doesn't it? But you know what? These challenges, when you can face your fears head on, you come out the other end so much more resilient and so much more stronger. You've like really leveled up as a person, okay? Yeah? So please, reach out to Citizens Advice if you're in that position, or if you just want to drop me a comment, that's fine, and I will reply. And know that you are not the only one. Okay, lots of love to you. Bye-bye.